All right, let's get started today. So sorry I couldn't be here on Tuesday. I had to be down in the Twin Cities with a team of students at a place event called Innovation Installers. Were presenting their work from the last 6 months on a project down there. And I, as one of their mentors, was driving them down there and back. So today, so again, so hopefully you work through the exercise there. We usually do that on Tuesday for that. And that is all just like looking stuff up on Windows and also doing this page file sort of stuff and trying that out. That requires a deck of cards. If you don't, I forgot to bring down my deck of cards, but if you can't simulate it, we can talk about that. But today we're going to work on the lab, which is kind of a complicated lab here. So we're going to bring up lab 7. This week we're talking a lot about input-output devices. So we're doing a lot of stuff with different sensors and input devices here, some output devices also that you can connect to your Raspberry Pi. So what we have is a whole bunch of these lessons. There are about 30 of them. We want you to do 3 of them here for this. Now, these are hard to do, so if you're not confident with your kind of Pi or wiring, you're welcome to work with pairs there. So this is a challenging lesson. We can assign you in teams of 2. If you're pretty confident with what you're doing, you can work on it by yourself, and online students are going to have to work on it by themselves also there. But again, we strongly suggest you're doing it. Also, some of this code works better with the older Raspberry Pis. So again, if you have a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4, that would be good. And you're partnering with someone, it's actually easier to work with the older Raspberry Pis here than the newer Raspberry Pi 5s. So again, we want you to complete 3 of these lessons for this. So Huber, can you hold up a sample lesson so they can see? So it's in a little bag there. It'll have some instructions in it, and it'll have a little sensor or something that you'll have to connect up with it. And so each one's numbered. So that's lesson 31. So you can also down here to lesson 31, open it up and see the same thing. This is a barometer sensor. Shows you how to wire it up to your Raspberry Pi. What is it showing? That's a good question. Okay. There. That better. Okay. Right here. So here's lesson. So I was here. I went down to 31, clicked on that one. That brought up this, shows our little sensor. There's a lot of stuff here, but this is a good diagram to show how to wire it up. Now there's a bunch of different code. You can skip over a lot of this because it's in different languages. This is all in C. We want to get down to where it says Python. And then we want to find the code for Python to do it in Python and have it try out there. Okay, some of these are not going to work. Some of them aren't. I've tried some of them. We've already determined aren't working, so we've crossed them out here. Some of them will require a. They have a dual LED color LED sensor here, so some of them will require that. But you don't have. We only have one of those. So you can do your own dual LED sensor stuff. So let me, yeah. So rather than they'll show you a picture of this dual LED sensor. You can just wire it. Here's a picture. They'll wire up your own LEDs. Again, just showing how we wire up an LED and then another LED for that. So the dual LED component can just be made with two LEDs of yours for that. Okay, so why don't we get started? Try to grab a bag that you think works. I think the smaller number ones are a little easier to do. And again, decide if you want to partner up with someone. I suggest, again, one thing nice about partnering up is we won't use up as many of the bags and we'll be able to share them better. So figure out if you want to work with a partner there, and then grab one of the lessons, bring it to your thing, try it out and see how it works. Okay.
Would it matter what phone we use? Everything all right. Of course. Oh. Are you recording it?
What does it say?
They're talking about create.
Oh, yeah.
So we needed like a little device.
So
What?
So we needed to connect like a little device, you know, with like a with this.
So you three of the 30 lectures. But they went all of them. No, a lot, some of them.
I did take a look through this.
Right, so okay, a lot to make. We'll need. So okay,
We're confused.
Like,
What we use, we don't get.
That's libraries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a remote?
there's a choice.
Yeah.
Are we able to take those little things home? Well, I remember last week's lab.
Right, no, I mean, this is just the distance stuff. So I mean, the idea is that you can try some of these out and get them done and submit them and then leave them here. And different people can try out different ones, today. So,
I just remember, I thought. Yeah. Cause I missed last week, but I still tried to do that, and I thought there was another extra thing that.
oh,
Stuff. Maybe I was looking at this week's lab.
yeah, I think.
I
you're
totally was
looking
looking
at
at this week's lab. Fortunate.
You don't have, right? So I want you to go on your data.
No, that's for sure, I can do to help you.
Instead of this, you can do this. So. And then. That on your elements. Okay. Yeah, let me show you some. Okay. So just to clarify, there are two different kinds of wires here, and some of them have pins in both ends. Some of them have a pin in one end and a box in another end. And so you're going to probably need some of these pin and box ones today, because the box will slide onto the pins of the sensor there. Now, if you don't have any of these pin and box ones, come up and talk to the TAs, because we have a whole thing of different cables, and there'll be some in here. Now, some of the pin and box ones will actually come in like a 3-pack, where there'll be 3 of them together. So some of you might see those too. So if you need some of those, let's do that. Actually, that doesn't have pins on both. You want something a little different.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah.
No.
It's,
It's on and it's
I don't know what you trying to wire on.
Oh, yeah, we're signing the light rails, it's not gonna be. It's signing. We'll see if you want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it'll be nothing, and then light.
Yeah.
When my, you about this one, you didn't put Brian.
Okay, one more note. So some of the code has these pin numbers that are old, and like yours is that way. So if you're using this old GPIO code, it uses pin numbers that don't match the pin numbers on the T bracket. So we have this little translator card to translate the pins on your T bracket to the pins, the GPIO pins that are shown in the code there. And there's also a version for online students, there's a version of that that's linked in the lab. So you have to watch that. So I'm gonna, if you're running into problems with not getting the right pins, talk to me. Okay, let's see. So online students, you may not have these little bags that we're using in class. So you may have kits that have a couple of things in it. So look, if you bought a kit, what's in there. You might have a little servo or a little engine or something like that. You might have a little switch, power button switch. See that? You might have like a different color LED. So see if you can find one or two things you can try out there. If not, feel free to get a hold of me and we can look through what you have. I will be posting a couple alternatives here if you don't have any devices. I haven't been able to update that, but I'll try to update that by this weekend. Okay.